Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to be using my voice. I will let you know now if you hear weird little chirps and stuff in the background, that's because I have two burbs, very vocal babies. So let's go. I mainly wanted to play this game because for me personally it doesn't take a lot of brain power, and I thought that if I chose this game I'd be able to talk to everybody about a bit about myself. I know that I don't know how many people read the description, but I thought it might be good to add some audio into it. So, as you know, I'm Pyromochi, and this channel has so far been mainly video games. And I apologize for the lack of animation and art and stuff, which is promised, something that I really wanted to add into it. I follow my motivation, which is why I randomly go on hiatus, words, and I went through a surgery recently. I got more gender-affirming surgery, not saying which because it's personal, but, I feel a lot more comfortable in my body. It's been 3 weeks, a little over that actually, and I only have 3 more days before, I don't have to wear, a binder over my chest to make me feel, it makes me feel uncomfortable to wear, pretty much. I hope you stick with me and listen. I mean, honestly, this is kind of like a podcast, right? Because I'm talking about myself and playing something, having you interact a little bit. So, I have 3 guinea pigs, 2 birds, and a snake. The house has an extra 2 cats. One of them is my partner's, and the other one is my grandmother's. The 2 birds are the most vocal animals in this house. I know cats can be pretty loud, but they just exceed. They're like dogs with wings, little mini dogs with wings. I have a conure named Cora and a budgie named Cowrie. Cora is like over twice the size of Cowrie. It's an interesting comparison because they're both small. I found out something interesting about budgies, and it's actually that they are more, like, vocal, and, they can actually mimic noises a lot more than conures can. I think it takes conures a lot longer to actually be able to make those sounds, if they even want to make them. You can train your birds to learn how to, like, talk to you and, like, speak certain phrases and things, but when it comes to parrots, conures are probably not that pick if you want a bird that talks. They're way smaller than, okay, if you think about parakeets, right, they're the kind of bird that would fit more than perfectly into your hand. When it comes to conures, they're like, they can nestle into your hand, picking them up, there will be a little bit of wiggle space for them. So, if you're thinking about getting a bird, that's something to think about. I personally really love conures. Cora is very lovable, very sweet. The only thing that I will warn you about, I think all animals probably do this, but, conures are more, well, not conures, sorry about that. All birds can be, like, very sexual towards the person that that owns them, right? If they don't have a partner with them. So, when I got the conure, I adopted her off my mom, who was moving away. I got the budgie on my own, and I should have gotten 2, because, honestly, like, no birds should be alone. And since, the budgie is practically, unlike Cora came from somewhere where they hand-fed her and tamed her and everything. The budgie is not tame at all, so it's kind of like having a wild bird. And I am still working on training them, and the way that I'm going to be doing it for Cowrie, right, because Cora's already trained, is to just kind of, my partner brings out their cage since I can't lift more than 15 pounds for a while, for at least another week, and then I have to keep slowly going up by 5 pounds until I can lift the way I want to. And their cage is obviously, like, their cage is big. because they deserve a big cage. All birds do, if they're in a cage at all. And the the budgie, the budgie is out in the living room with me. The conure out in the living room with me. She is out all the time because she's tame. She doesn't fly into everything. It doesn't take a lot of effort to get her back into her cage for bedtime, so I don't have to worry about it as much, and she doesn't go to the corners of the room because this house is not the cleanest. I want to clean it, but I don't really have that ability while I'm recovering. And even before I was recovering, this house isn't mine, it's my grandma's. I originally lived with my mother and brother as well, but they moved away on a whim, because my mom is like that. It's fine, though, because I can relate. I get animals as a support when my mental state isn't doing so well. And having so many pets is really helpful because it makes me feel like I'm doing something, right? If I'm not doing much, I'm taking care of the pets, right? I'm giving them affection and attention and everything. And I feel like that sustains me a lot, And if I feel depressed or down or something, I remind myself, hey, you adopted these animals, that you are one of the few people that will do heavy research into their pets, which is really sad to think about, but you make sure that they have everything they need. If you realize that their diet or something isn't right, you immediately replace it regardless of how much it costs. You'll ask for help from other people if need be in order to get there. It's just, I put in a lot of effort towards what I do. I work as a security guard, event staff, and that job sounds more scary than it is. All I really do all day when I work there, because I get to choose my hours, I get to choose that, and I get $17 an hour, which isn't bad for living here in Oregon. So the jobs are normally 5.5 hours to like 8 hours. They can be more than that, but that's just my middle ground. Pretty much just keeping people from bringing things in that aren't allowed in, like tasers or mace or knives, anything that just is a weapon of any sort, or like, depending on the event, they won't allow, or most of the time they don't allow bags bigger than like a clutch, which is like, it's like what, like 10 by 10 inches or something, or 8 by 8 or something like that. If it's even a little bit off, they can't be allowed in. It makes so many people mad, and I feel bad for them because they forget that Moda Center has rules and a website and stuff to actually like tell them how it works and everything. I think sometimes the supervisors will hold on to like knives or other things, or not knives, but like mace or something else, in order, because some of the people that come in are going to be busting it back, like workers, not the people that are coming in as like customers that paid for the concert or the comedy show or whatever. They will hold on to the item to make sure that, because some of the people are literally busing it home. Like, me and my partner work there together, which is really helpful because it's about an hour by bus, and there's no way that I could do my shifts if not, because they always end around 11 p.m. or later. Most of the time that's how it is. They don't tend to end like earlier in the day. So going alone, and if you're busing it, not driving, then it's a lot more scary. And since there's so many people working there that have gone through trauma, because I feel like a lot of people have, but like trauma dealing with people out in public, they want to make sure they have the right safety precautions. So, I mean, I really appreciate my work because they were very chill with me taking 4 weeks off, because it's the kind of job where, again, I make my own schedule. They pretty much let me do my own thing and choose which shifts I want to do, and I only have to work one shift a month, which is like, it could be anywhere from 4 hours to like 12 or more, because some of them, they have some shifts for like 16 hours and longer, which I think is insane. I mean, I know that a lot of people's jobs already kind of require them to work overtime and that sort of thing, but this is the kind of job that doesn't like require you to have to do that all the time. I think that's really nice because they care about the people that work there more than a lot of other places I know. I'm also trying to get a job as a like working at one of my favorite ice cream places. It's an independent place, Cloud City. Uh, if I can, I really want to work there because the people there are really nice. It's an independently owned place, so I don't have to deal with big corporation shit. Like, they care about the people that work there. They work around any sort of like problems that the people might be going through, and I don't know. They just have a good energy to them, and the people that come in um, are like pretty nice. It's kind of an interesting distance from my house. I'm not gonna say how far. Um, I mean, I don't know. It's either like it's either Cloud City or a different ice cream place. I mix names up sometimes, but I've been going to that ice cream place since I was like 10. I don't know. Around the time that it opened, I think I tried it. And it's one of my favorite ice cream places. Because the people that work there, they, again, like, you know how customer service is, or at least I know some of you do. Customer service being dealing with assholes a lot of the time, and people that just aren't respectful and don't care about anyone but themselves, like that sort of thing. But, I mean, I've dealt with plenty of, like, bitch people from my work, the event staff, but, the, my employers are on my side, you know, and that's nice, because if they do anything to physically assault me, or even show like they're gonna physically assault me, they're the ones who get in trouble, and I'm not ever in the wrong for that. I mean, I understand people that like invoke it. I'm not intentionally doing that. It just one of my friends who actually introduced me to the job had told me that somebody like threatened to hit him or something, and they immediately had it on camera. So the people like kicked that person out. Like they immediately noticed that was going on and kicked the person out for threatening that. Like, I think that's amazing, because I know a lot of places, you know, will tell the employees, hey, you're the one in the wrong. Also, damn, I missed the key. God damn it. Here, I'll talk about something besides work, because I know that's a heavy subject for a lot of people. I can keep talking about my pets, because they are precious babies, and I will always want to talk about them. I have, the 3 guinea pigs I have are all female. Bean, Opal, Dami, and, Bean, Opal, and Dami. I used to live with, so I started out with 2 guinea pigs, Chewy and Dom. Chewy was originally my brother's guinea pig, but my mom ended up having a connection with him and kind of just said, hey, Maddie, or, pretty much just said, hey, no, this is my child now, and took him over. It's funny because, sorry, I'm hearing quacking from my bird right next to my ear. It's funny because, like, he was like, his name's Chewy, right? Because he's, like, brown, like Chewbacca. And Dom, the reason why he was named that was because he would chase Chewy around his cage and try to get on top of him. I don't know if it was sexual or not, so don't ask me. I do know, though, that it's how they dominate, and Chewy was just trying to get away from him. He was just like, screw you, I don't want to be here, leave me alone, and, like, run away. And because of how that was impacting Chewy's mental health, we took Dom out of the cage and got him his own so that he would stop doing that. Because we didn't realize that males were more, they were more bitchy, I guess. Like, they were just straight up rude to, like, other males. With females and females tend to get along better, for some reason. But, I don't know, like, Dom actually passed away, a while ago because, one of my mom's exes stepped on him. What happened was he didn't die immediately, nothing like that. He stayed alive for a while, but he passed away after about a month and a half after that event, which is amazing because he was like fully stepped on. Like that should have probably like killed him, you know. And before like you start like yelling profanities about my mom's ex, he was a horrible person, yes, but he did not intentionally do that to the guinea pig. Guinea pig was on the ground in a towel, and you know I left him there for 5 seconds, and that was all it took. But luckily, you know, he in the last like bit of his life, you know, about a couple months, I would like almost sleep next to him. I'd have him like right by me, and I gave him a lot of attention and affection. So the last days were great, and he got spoiled with vegetables, which you honestly should not be doing to your animal unless they are like close to passing away. You know, if they're really old, and I mean, if they're really old, I recommend just keeping them on a steady diet because that'll make them live longer. But it happened a while ago, and I'm still sad about it because I know that stuff happens, and all we can really do about it is accept the fact that it happened, and it sucks. But the experience, it definitely isn't worth that sort of like trauma. But that experience like tells you pretty much like how you should take care of your animals, how careful you are with them. Like you obviously shouldn't be helicoptering over your pets, but if you live with other people and you live in a small house, you have to make sure that if they're a small rodent or something similar, like to avoid putting them on the ground if there's other people home, or to like let people know, you know, just to make sure that everyone's aware of where the animal is. I don't guilt myself over it. I know my voice is a little shaky. It's because I'm playing this game and trying to focus on it while talking, which is also why there's tons of uhs and ands. So sorry about that. There it is again. I honestly like really love the pets I have now. I gotta say, if anybody is curious about my favorite, it's definitely Cora. She has been my support through my mom leaving, which sounds bad. Oh God, that sounds bad. Don't take it that way. Her moving out. She didn't give a ton of notice. She used to pay for the bird, like for me to be able to afford taking care of her and stuff. But then she stopped giving me funds because you know she's having money problems too. But it's like it's stressful because I have to pay for everything for her, and but toys are pretty expensive for birds, and trying to find ones that have safe materials is hard. And you can make your own at home, you know. Hemp is decent, like, hemp is safe for them, bamboo is safe for them, coconuts is safe for them. Like, it's... A lot of things are safe for conures, you know, when it comes to food items. So, but if you have an ant problem or something else, you know, gotta be careful about that. I certainly have bug problems. But if they were gotten rid of, they would just come back. They always find a way. Sorry, hiccup. But I'm sorry if I'm rambling a bit too much. 18 minutes. Wow, it feels a lot longer than that. I adore all my animals equally. It's just with Cora, she has been very affectionate and cuddly and everything, and that helps a lot with just dealing with any sort of stressors of the daily life, you know. Like, if I feel nauseous due to, like, stress, just cuddling with her for, like, a few minutes is enough to calm me down. And it's the same kind of thing with the guinea pigs. It's just after surgery, I can't have anything touching my chest and anything heavy, you know. I can't have an animal on me. So the only real animals that I can hold without, like, you know, risking anything is the birds. And again, Cowrie is not trained, so they aren't actually like used to me enough for me to be able to hold them. So I want to, I do, don't get me wrong, and I am actively working on taming them so they feel safe around me, and so that I can keep going and and teaching them. Sorry, I forgot the word. Teaching them like tricks and other things, because God, budgies, they have the ability to like mimic noises so well. Like, it is startling like, my partner was sitting next to the cage, and they made, like, a kissy noise right next to them. I don't, like, I do give them attention and stuff and make kissy noises at them, but I didn't think they were gonna, like, retain that within a month of having them, you know? I mean, that was insane. So I was just, like, freaking out. I was like, oh my god, the budgie spoke. It made a kissy noise, you know, and Cora is already making kissy noises, but I have had her for only about, like, less than a year, but total, the amount of time that I've lived with her has been, like, 2 years or longer. So she's like 2 years old or so. One moment. Alright, sorry. Partner walked in the room, just wanted to let them know what was going on. The animals are my precious children. They will always be my babies. And I want to let you guys know a quick fact that is always something I love to think about, because it's just nice to know that they live so long. Conures live up to 30 years, as long as you're giving them the right diet and treating them well and everything. And, you know, Cora is spoiled rotten. And I don't say that in the case of, like, she's eating things that she should not be eating. I mean it in the fact that she's out, like, every waking moment that I am awake, that I'm not working or out, she is out. Oh, shit. She is out of her cage. And I know that some people might be like, that's not spoiling, that's just the basic how to take care of. That's not entirely true. When it comes to conures, depending on if they're alone, they need about 6 hours of attention a day, right? About that. Whether that's you just being around them, right, while they're in their cage, or while they're out. If they have a partner, I think that the least amount of time that you should be spending with them, the least, would be about 4 hours, you know? And, like, I feel like they should be out of their cage. Oops. I didn't swipe. If they have a partner, right, then it's for both, you know? I think that birds should be out about 4 hours a day. And, like, you should be around them, right? For a solo bird, 6 to 8 hours. For partner birds, about 4 hours. So, I don't know, like, I think that's pretty much the minimum of what people should be doing with their birds. But I know it depends on the breed. I mean, like, with conures and budgies, that's what I think they should have. I know that someday in the future, right, I want to get a giant bird like a cockatoo or a macaw, and I want to, like, get them set up to being my support animal, so that I can travel around, right, and bring them into stores and shit without them needing to be in a little cage thing after they're potty trained and everything, that sort of thing. Like, I want that so bad. Either that, or getting my conure trained and to train her with a leash and a harness. And the way that would work is the harness is like a vest type thing. Birds should not be wearing it for longer than, like, I want to say an hour. I would have to get her, like, once I learn to drive and everything, I would try to get her situated where she can be in the car or van or whatever the fuck I choose to get. I can have her in there with me, and train her to be used to the car, have little stands and stuff, and hopefully by that time, Cowrie will be trained enough to be able to do the same thing. But again, like, I feel like taming birds takes years. You know, if you're not giving them constant attention and constantly trying to tame them and stuff, you know, it'll take a while. And I'm totally fine with that. I'm right now trying to focus on career and savings so that I can possibly move out of here into, like, Canada, or I'm not really sure. Like, I want to move somewhere else. Not sure where, because I haven't visited everywhere yet, or, like, I haven't felt at home in a lot of places, like, the amount of poor people in Oregon. Sorry, my mouth is not working with my brain. The amount of poor people in Oregon is just devastating, and I don't want to live somewhere that doesn't take care of their poor. I do want to help the situation, but there's not much I can do since I don't have a lot of money, and even with the funds, you know, I have to spend a lot of that on my animals. Luckily, I have reusable bedding for the guinea pigs, which is very helpful. I don't think I don't know how many of you understand how helpful it is, because it not only is something that is not, like, you don't waste it, right? You don't just throw it in the trash or throw it in the compost, because the amount of time and energy and stuff that it takes to make those items, right? The bedding, the normal bedding, without the not the fabric bedding, but the what's it called, like the newspaper bedding and stuff like that. The reason why it's so much better is because when you use it, you can reuse it. You can throw it in the washer and wash it with detergent normally, and then you can just replace their thing, clean it off, and then change it out. The only thing that I have to say to you guys is, oh shit, not that, that's not what I was gonna say, is that you want to get liners with good ratings, right? That's pretty obvious. But there are liners that go for like $20. And a lot of people will be tempted and be like, "Ooh, that looks good." Well, if you're housing more than one guinea pig in that area, right? And you're using that as a daily thing, every single day that bedding will need to be changed, because the thinner ones are horrible. I'm not trying to dissuade you from getting one. Although this might. The actual bedding, the good bedding, can be up to $100. It ranges from like 80 to 100, but it's way better and it lasts a lot longer. The bedding I have for my guinea pigs, I have 4 pieces of bedding. 2 of them were already given to me by my mom because she left me with one of the guinea pigs as well. So I adopted a guinea pig from her as well. I bought the other 2 beddings for my other 2 guinea pigs, which share a home because they were adopted together. They're about 3.5 years old. Bean is like, she's like maybe a year old now. I know that she isn't. So I was originally trying to breed her, and that sounds bad, but like it can sound bad coming from someone who's never done it before. But I was trying to breed her with Chewy because my mom was visiting for a bit, and I had the idea, and she's like, okay, and then they were housed together for a little bit, but they weren't housed together long enough. And the thing is, I did a ton of research because I know that one of the risks of guinea pig breeding is that there's a chance that they will birth passed away babies, right? They're not babies, right? They're not fully grown. But that's because a lot of people don't know when to breed them. You want to breed them after 7 months. Between 7 and 10 months is when between 7 and 10 months is the time that you want to breed them. You want to do a shit ton of research. Don't just listen to me, because there's a lot of information. Like, they need a specific habitat. They need a lot of different things in order for them to be able to give birth in the first place. And you need to have a viable male guinea pig. And again, you don't want them too young. You don't want them too old, because if you try to breed guinea pigs while the guinea pig, the female, is old, right, at least a year old or older, that she will either give birth to passed aways, or she will need a C-section, or she will pass away. That is a terrifying notion, right? Like, why would you risk that happening to your guinea pig by breeding her? I tried breeding her around 7 months old. She was between 7 and 10 months when I tried to breed her with Chewy. Chewy, however, is a 4-year-old guinea pig. He's no longer fertile, but we still wanted to try. And I say we because my mom knows that he's reaching, they can live for like 8 years or longer, depending on how well you take care of them. But, she's still nervous that he might pass on sooner than later. And so she was like, I want mini Chewies. I want mini babies. And I was like, yeah, I honestly want that too. And I'm really curious if I can actually pull it off. And what I meant was, I really want to see if I can do this properly, right? Like, I already kind of knew that I would do everything in my power to do it properly. But that I would be very, very, very careful, and the only time that she would ever get, like, picked up at all, and it wasn't even to get picked up, she would be in her she has a little cozy hut thing that she goes in, I would, like, have her run in there and then gently pick up the entire thing. And I weighed her, and she was slowly gaining weight, and I was like, oh my god, she's pregnant. But the thing is, she didn't end up being pregnant. She was just gaining weight because she was reaching her adult weight, which should be between 900 and 1,100 grams. So she was reaching like 850, and she was reaching like pretty high numbers. But then I had read somewhere that actually, that female guinea pigs, when pregnant, can reach like 3/4 bigger than their initial weight, or like twice as, I think it was twice as big. But they can reach like twice the weight that they were at originally. And that scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my god, is she gonna become a balloon? You know? And so when she was gaining weight, I was really excited because I was like, oh my god, does that mean that she's actually pregnant, right? But then found out that was just normal. And Chewie had already been brought back home, and everything had been situated. And once I figured that out, because she was not, there was no like little bulge on her stomach, there was no actual showing that she was pregnant. And I wasn't going to be going and getting her an ultrasound because you know how expensive that kind of shit is, especially for guinea pigs. You know, that sounds like something that would cost a fortune to be able to afford. But there's ways of telling just by touch, so that's what I did. And I found out that she wasn't pregnant, so then, you know, I already had bought a guinea pig cage for like $34, so I have that now that I'm not using for anything, but I don't want to get another guinea pig because they're expensive over time. If you look at how much it costs for them to do, like, if you look at how much it costs for their hay, you know, because that's their main source of food, the more guinea pigs you have, the faster they go through it, right? Which is pretty obvious. But the hay that I have for the 3 guinea pigs only lasts like 3 months. So adding another guinea pig to that, or like 3 months at most. So if I add another guinea pig to that mix, right, that would be so much. There would not be. It's like $55 for enough hay for like 2 to 3 months or so, I want to say. And adding another guinea pig means that it would probably take off like at least 2 to 3 weeks of that. So it would definitely make it more expensive. And then vegetables are pretty expensive because I only go organic, and my grandma helps pay for that stuff because, I mean, you guys can be like, oh, you're spoiled, you get so many animals. I mean, kind of. I will say now that I am privileged for sure, because I work a job that is based on my schedule, right? A lot of people don't have that luxury, and the job itself isn't everywhere, you know? It's only where I am. And it might be somewhere else too, but I'm not entirely sure. And there's probably other places that have something similar. But I understand that, like, I get the privilege of living with someone who doesn't make me pay rent, doesn't make me pay a shit ton for food, right? I can't get my own food stamps because of the fact that she's my grandmother and I live with her, so her money counts, right? Because, you know, she makes money. But my partner's the one who got food stamps because they aren't related to me or my grandma, because that would be very bad. So they got like 200 food stamps over the course of a couple months. We already spent 100 of it on groceries and like sushi and stuff from like from Safeway. So we already did that. But I want to spend the rest of it on like groceries, obviously, for food. But like stuff like frozen items, because I think that would be a much better decision than buying like overpriced food that doesn't last very long. I got like a shit ton of Jell-O because that's my comfort food and it helps my stomach. Like, I understand sugar is not something that helps stomachs, but it's the fact that it's neutral, like, but it's pH, it's like acidity and stuff is natural. Like, neutral, not natural, sorry. It's neutral, so it's good for my stomach because my stomach is so acidic because I have acid reflux. So I get that in order to make my stomach feel less bloated and angry with me. And I'm also planning on starting a sort of like a new diet because I've been gaining weight, obviously, because I've not been able to do much because of recovery. But I my body is angry at me, so I want to be able to say I'm sorry and give it smoothies and stuff that would probably make it a lot happier than like burritos and sandwiches and bread and bread and bread and bread and bread, you know? I just think that would be a much better option, so I'm gonna follow through with that. I mean, I'm honestly curious, like, how many people are gonna see this and comment on it, or, like, see it in general, because this video feels like the type of video that is mainly just for me, you know? It's not really for anybody else, and that will definitely impact how many people it reaches. I mean, all that's on my For You page. Is that the right term? Because I use so many different things that my brain does not keep up. On YouTube, all I get is, like, for my front page, for my recommended, I get, like, memes, animation memes, because I love looking at other people's animations and trying to figure out how they work and if it's possible for me to get there at some point, which I think I can. Look at, like, Markiplier videos, because he is honestly amazing. I think he's hilarious. I'm not gonna, like, get angry at anybody for disagreeing, you know, because those kinds of people are just, no. You know, I don't understand why people would get mad over that. I mean, he does give money to charities, and at one point, I remember, someone can tell me if this is wrong, but I remember seeing something where he was just eating ramen for, like, 2 weeks, or, like, a month, because he gave all of his money to charity. And yeah, he lives in a huge house, you know, you can hate on him for that, but it's because of the money from people liking, subscribing, commenting, and, like, all of that gives him enough funds to be able to give to charity and to do what he loves, and I think that's amazing, because at some point in life, I want to get there, you know? I want to do what I love in life and make money off of it. I want to be an herbalist, a botanist, a trapeze artist. Like, I really want to go back into trapeze. I want to travel. I want to learn about new places, new cultures, new foods, different types of bubble tea, because I love that. I make my homemade bubbles, and they are amazing. I've recently found a new tea that is amazing, butterfly pea tea. It's also known as blue tea, and it turns purple when you add citric acid or lemon juice. You have to add a lot of lemon juice, though, at least from what I've heard. I think it has the most beautiful, like, light blue color when you add, like, almond milk or regular milk or whatever you guys want to use in it. And I think almond milk adds just the most perfect flavor of, like a nutty almond flavor that just works. I don't use regular milk because my stomach doesn't like it and my taste buds don't like it, which in a way is very controversial, because a lot of people love just drinking milk from the carton, and I see that and I wince a little, because I'm like, ugh, that doesn't look good. I don't like that. And I mean, I myself am not. I mean, I don't know if people are gonna say this, but I'm not vegan. I want to be there at some point in my life, because I don't like the amount of fossil fuel emissions that go into a lot of, like, meat production and that sort of thing, or vegetarian at least. But because I love eggs. Eggs are just universally great in, like, everything. And, like, certain dairy products. I like cheese. I do like cheese. I know cheese is made from milk, but they add all this other stuff into it to make it taste different, and, like, they don't just put milk in something and then immediately make cheese. So, I'm probably weird for liking cheese, considering my stomach does not like it. I should listen to my body more often, rather than just being like, ooh, this tastes good. It goes in my stomach now, regardless of my stomach screams at me to stop. Like, I think it's a little funny. I don't know how many people think that's funny, because my humor is horrible. Which is part of why I see, like, these, really, like, shitty, but they're not, they're funny. They're funny to me. But a lot of people probably see them as bad. Like funny compilations or whatever of, like, random shit. I'll watch those, and there's times where I just won't make any expressions on my face. I'll be like, this is funny, but not for me. I'm not the right audience for this. But then there's times I'll watch, like, somebody run into a wall or something, and I'll just lose my shit laughing. Because again, my humor is trash, but it's funny to me. So, that's good. I need humor in my life. If I wasn't humorous, I think a lot more people would be concerned about me. I'd just be making serious expressions. They'd be like, "Are you okay?" And I'd be like, yeah, why?" "Oh, yeah, I've never seen you laugh before." It's like, well, I don't have humor. And then they just nod and go away. They're like, "I don't want to be friends with this person. They're not funny enough. They don't have humor. Who wants to be friends with an unhumorous person?" I don't know. I have no brain cells, and it's proven every time I open my mouth. Um, I do want to say though, like, I really appreciate the 100 subscribers. It's part of why I'm doing this. It's another part of the thank you, and I more than love like every single one of you guys. Like, I want to make more content. I really do, and I want to um go into games and stuff that other people are recommending to me. I will finish the Magical Girl Critical. I will finish it at some point. I am procrastinating it because it's so hard and annoying, and I'm like nervous to start it because once I get to the boss, I'm just gonna stand there and just hit my head into a wall because it's almost guaranteed to be a pain in the ass. So I'm nervous to go through with that because it's nerve wracking. I'm sorry that you're only hearing my voice and not the game. I know that a lot of people have more nostalgic feeling towards this game than probably they do my voice, and I don't blame them for that. But I don't feel like getting, what's the right word? I don't want to deal with them like copywriting it. I'm just like, no. That's the thing about music. You can't trust which one is and isn't, because even the ones that say they aren't copyrighted can become copyrighted. Like, who wants to go through that? Like, I did it with I left it alone for Strange Horticulture because I absolutely love that game, and I think the music really adds to the ambiance. And because I wasn't using my voice in it, I was like, I wouldn't watch a video where this person doesn't say anything and there's no noise whatsoever, and it's a playthrough of a game that I don't even like know, or I don't even know if I'll like. I don't blame anybody for like not being interested in it if that's what they thought it was going to be, because I know that some of my videos have like replaced music and stuff, and those are the ones that don't get much views at all. And I'm not surprised, because I know that I wouldn't watch them either. um, but I do that because I still want to release content. But I feel guilty when there's no audio. So now that I feel confident enough to share my voice with you guys, I think that might be what's the right term? The the high point? I don't know. The starting point. That's what it is. This is the starting point of something that will most likely be great. It could be horrible because, again, my humor is trash. But it might make you guys, like, happy to know that I appreciate you. And I don't know how many of you are watching this, how many of you aren't. Which is fine. Again, I'm not judging anybody for liking or not liking it, because just the support that I get from, just getting the support from the subscribers, just having them there is more than I can handle. Like, it makes me really happy, because I'm not used to this kind of, how far I've gotten. I was at 19 subscribers, a few months ago. I was at 19 subscribers. And now I'm at 100, and I'm freaking out because I wasn't prepared to reach 100 subscribers. I was prepared to reach, 50 at most, because I need, I think either 1,000 or 4,000 subscribers. Or no, I think I need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time to be able to get monetized. I don't know how long it'll take for me to get there, but I'm willing to take the time. Just like how you guys are taking the time to get to know me as you watch this, because I know that, nobody's going to skip this far, just to hear me talk about how much I appreciate you, because I don't know how many people are going to just be like, look, here's an appreciation message, and then just put in the comments, a little, the, timestamp or whatever. I don't know how many people would actually do that. I think it'd be funny, because it'd be funny if just people are like, ooh, appreciation, I'm gonna press that, because I don't blame you. Having positive feedback is really important because it helps people grow. Negative feedback, if people are easily influenced and are already insecure, negative feedback really fucks with people. And as much as they try to hide it, it's still something that exists. You know, for how many people love a popular person, like a celebrity type person, right? There's a lot of people that don't feel the same way and feel the complete opposite, and will comment on their posts and on their things saying, you're a piece of shit. You're not good. You're not funny. You're not blah blah blah. You know, all that garbage. But then the positive people are there to just completely broaden the horizon and make everything feel so much more light and fluffy, because they're asking questions, they're talking to the person, they're being like, you're so amazing at this. Like, one thing I have to say now, and I am doing a call out, or I think that's the right word, Teleperte has the most positive community that I have ever seen on anybody's channel. Like, every single comment is something about how amazing their animations are and how smooth they are, and I'm just sitting here like in the group in this like huge giant chat full of people that are just loving on his work and on the amount of effort he puts into it, and I already feel fluffy reading them, even though they're not for me. I'll read them and be like, I could get there someday. I could get to that point where my animations are beloved and are structured and are like lovable, and I animate daily and I post daily, and people are eat it up and love it, you know? Like, I want to get there someday. And every time I look at that comment section, I feel more and more like I can do this. I can get here. It'll be a while, but that amount of time is worth taking. And I want to get to know you guys as well. I want to hear your stories. You know, I think I'm going to put my Instagram in the description, and anybody who wants to like tell me their story, I'm here to listen. Anybody who's gone through trauma, not like new things, coming out stories, anything that you guys have. Like, I didn't really need to do a coming out because of the fact that my family is very open about that sort of thing. So they're not. I know a lot of people are very judgmental and very disgusting, like, depending on, like, if they're religious and stuff like that. And I feel saddened by the fact that there's people that aren't accepted by their families based on a simple fact such as who they like and who they are as, like, what their gender is, right? Like, what they identify as. Like, I think it's really screwed up that families just don't put in the effort to actually get to know their kids, and then when they find out that they are a different sexuality or different gender orientation than what they're used to, they just abandon their kids, or just, I don't know, it feels so wrong. And I want to give support and love to those who have gone through that pain, because I never went through it, right? That doesn't mean that I can't empathize, because I've dealt with not being accepted through a lot of other things, you know? It was still who I am, but just not through gender or sexual identity. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to know how you are doing, and like what you've been doing, and what your plans are for the future, who you want to be. Like, I really do want to know. And I'm really sorry for jumping around so much. However, that is my personality, and I will stick by it. So I hope you guys get used to it at some point, you know. Anybody that's here listening, hopefully you're enjoying this and not just listening to make fun of it. Because I know that you can hear the bird in the background here. Let's see if I can get her to make noises into the speaker. She just landed on my phone. She's very playful. I should upload videos of her, honestly. I feel like a lot of people would love that, because birds are the best support animals. But again, like, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear critiques. I want to hear support. I want to hear anything that you guys have to say, because it's all very important to me, and the critiques will help me. Oops, I was not paying attention. Still playing with the bird. The critiques will help me get better and improve as a person and as a creator, and I more than want that. One other thing that I was thinking I could do is make a video game through the 3DS, because there's an app on there for like $5. Please tell me if this is a bad idea and that it's a bad game, or a bad game design app if it is. but because there's one on sale right now that you guys would probably see if you check it on the store in the 3DS. I want to get that app, and I want to design games on my 3DS. And, like, one thing my brother said was, why would you want to create games on something that you can't even share with people? And I went, that's not true. I can share it through them playing on my 3DS. There's a public forum, you know, even if it's not something I get, like, money for, I could play my own game through and record it. I could record my own gameplay of a game I created, and show people, hey, you know, I have more than just shitty art skills and shitty gaming skills. You know, I can make a game. You know, it may not be a very good game, but I made a game, and as time goes by, you know, I could be a game designer, I could be a influencer, I could be a creator, I could be whatever the fuck I want, because I can do it, and so can all of you. I'm not the only one that has abilities, you know? Whether you're drawing stick figures in the dirt, or on a piece of paper, or wherever, you can eventually reach your goal. You can become more than what people treat you, you know? Because in truth, stickman art was how, I think it was how Teleporte started, actually. And one thing that I noticed, though, is that there's a big jump in animation, which means he probably got trained or learned somehow. But that doesn't mean that you guys can't either, right? If you guys have the ability to click onto your phone and text or type, you have the ability to write a story. If you have the ability to draw doodles in your notebook while you're at school or in college or at work or whatever, you have the ability to create something beautiful with your art. Like, post what you doodle, you know? Get the support from people, because people are going to critique, right? But the amazing thing about people is they don't just critique, you know? They're not just going to say, oh, that's a piece of shit. You doodle it on a small piece of paper that you were working on in school or somewhere else, and they're going to be like, oh, you're sharing your art here, you know? You'll get followers as long as you're consistent, or as long as your videos have an impact, which somehow the Magical Girl Critical videos do. You'll make yourself a fan base just by simply posting things that you created. And, you know, I'm willing to help in whatever way I can for people who have questions for me or questions about other things. Like, I'm not even 20 years old yet, right? What the fuck could I know? But I want to help anybody that I can become a better version of themselves, because I know that with every comment you guys put down, with every like, with every subscribe, I become a more inspired and better person, because you guys give me the motivation to keep going. I mean, honestly, and that might sound sad, you know? Oh, your internet friends are giving you the support you need, which you should be getting from real-life people. I have real-life friends, you know? I never said I didn't. But I know that when it comes to people on the internet, right, I don't need everybody else's affirmation to become a better person. It's more like, hey, you're reaching people. People enjoy what you're doing, right? It's not about, like, me following what other people want from me. It's about me doing things to hopefully, right, so that people can see my work. I like to be seen, right, but I want suggestions. I want to learn. I want to become better and improve and all that. I don't need the affirmation. I don't need any of that, right? But I want it, because it means the world to me. Ugh, well, I died immediately there. It's because I want you guys around me. I want you guys to talk to me and tell me what you want from me, because I do know that a lot of you guys, if you have been watching this, probably want Magical Girl Critical. Or if you're a new person, I don't know what you'd want from me. But I really want people to comment and be like, hey, could you try playing this game? Or could you try doing this? For now, okay, so recommend whatever games. I want to play whatever you guys have to offer. I don't know how I'd react to horror games, because I don't play them that much at all. But I can handle scary, so I don't know if you guys would want to watch me just blankly staring at a screen while playing a game. But I cannot currently pay for any games. I am currently no money, but if you guys have suggestions that do cost, I'll put them in my wish list and get to them eventually, once I do have the funds. And I would love to play any of your games. if any of you have made games, like, please comment them down below, you know? I really fucking want to play them. I want to play whatever you guys have for me, and you can show that to me through itch.io or whatever, right? That's how you say it, I think. That's where that's where I want to get my games. The This Old Man game, if you hadn't seen the description, if you're new, whatever, I'm just gonna say this. That was a game one of my friends made, and they recently released a new demo. And so, at some point, I want to play through that demo because, like, they are such an amazing person and creator, and the fact that they made that out of... They did use a game design app, don't get me wrong. But the fact that they made that all in their head, that whole story, that whole plot, and the whole game design, like, I think that's amazing, because if you can make a plot, right, make a story, if you can draw sprites or animate sprites, or even if you just use defaults, right, if you have a story to tell, and you have a structure that you want it to be placed in, you can easily make your own game. You need the right app, obviously, and the way that he was doing it was through, I don't know which app design or game design app it was, but you could probably buy a pretty cheap one based on, like, how many people have rated it as a good design. A good video game design app. Like, honestly, you can base it on ratings. That's what I normally do, and I'll look at the worst ratings to see what do they think about this, right? And see, oh, hey, like, this smelled bad, like, when it comes to, like... Sorry, that was out of context. When it comes to bird toys, I'll look at, like, if anybody says, chemical smell, weird smell, even if it's got good ratings, if it says that, I don't want to risk it, because if it smells like chemicals, and there's at least 10 people who reviewed it that way, then I'm not going to trust it. When it comes to video games, right, if there's so many good reviews, and then somebody says, oh, they updated it, now it stinks, right, and you actually, like, check, and they did update it recently, and some people are complaining about more ads or other things like that, then yeah, you know, trust those reviews. Trust the most recent reviews, because they tend to be the people that have dealt with the updates and have dealt with, like, what they have added to it to make more money off of it, you know? So it's always good to check that. And, like, I honestly, like, one other game I really need to play through once... Again, because I can't play games that involve controllers right now, because my controller is lost in the house, which is part of why I haven't been playing games. But once I find it, I want to play Hollow Knight for everybody. Although I think I don't have it for Steam. I might have it for Steam. I might have bought it when it was on sale or something. But I know I have it for Xbox. I don't know how to set that up where I can record on there. But if I do use my computer for it, I will do exactly what I'm doing here. You see the little orange dot? That's X Recorder. I'll use that in order to do it. And I'll make sure to have it to where... I'll have it to where it can hear my voice, right? It can use the microphone. Or I just use my phone as a microphone. I don't want to show my face because things happen and they scare me and I don't want to go through that. You know, my support system is pretty good, but that doesn't necessarily mean I feel safe where I live. You know? Oregon is all over the place. It depends on where you live. It can be really bad some places, really good some others, but it's all over the place. I just really want to create content and make other people happy and myself by playing games that are recommended. I choose, because I can choose my own games. I'm just very indecisive, so I just thought to myself, hey, while I'm recording a video where I am talking into the screen, maybe, just maybe, the people that are listening have some suggestions. Some games that they made, other people made, that they think is a good game, right? Or is a good game. Both are accurate. And seems like something that they would want to watch. So, I mean, I can't pay for anything yet. I don't have money, but, still give me suggestions, please. I'm begging you, please. I love having structure and things that I can use to be able to become a better content creator and to have more content for you guys. Because I feel guilty for putting off the Magical Girl Critical game. I really do. For those who are watching. Because again, this is what? Yeah, an hour in. I highly doubt anybody's here right now. You know, I don't think anybody will be sitting into this. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna shut up. You know? Because the whole point of this video is for you guys to get to know me. And at this point, you guys probably know by now that I am very unstable when it comes to topic situations where I will just blab and blab. I have ADHD. I don't have much structure into how I talk. It's just kind of all over the place. And I die a lot in the game. I'm good at killing myself by you know, constantly getting distracted by my bird on my leg. Please let me know if you want to see her. And I probably will post anyways, because who doesn't love burbs, aside from people that are scared of them? I know there's people that are, and I think it's a little weird, but at the same time, it's understandable. If you've never had a bird in your life, you've never had a pet bird, you've never lived around a bird, then they're just kind of like foreign things. You know, they're like foreign animals that you've never seen before in your life. And every time you see them, you're reminded of the fact that you don't know what the fuck they are, you know? And when people are making jokes like, birds work for the bourgeoisie, you know, part of your brain is like, maybe they're right. Maybe it is, maybe they are, because I've never held one before. I've never touched one. But having birds is one of the most fulfilling experiences I've ever had. Because again, they're like dogs, but they live longer, they do shit everywhere, unless you train them, which is same way both, you know? The one difference is that with dogs, you can make them support animals for, it depends on the size again, but you can make them into support animals, and they can go with you everywhere without needing, well, they do need a leash and stuff, so never mind that. Words, but you'd have to pay for, like, if you want a support bird that can be with you at all times, that you train to fly to you, you have to live in a climate where they can handle it, right? Like, not too cold, not too hot. It has to be kind of equal, depending on the bird, of course, because I know that some of them deal with different climates differently, but, like, the bigger birds can reach, like, over $2,000, so I know a lot of you are probably like, no, fuck no, I'm not spending, like, $2,000 on a fucking bird, you know? But when it comes to a bird in general, it costs a lot more than $2,000 total, depending on the bird you choose. Because the Conure Cora, she was $450, and her cage was for free because we got it from a friend. It's a huge cage. It's like, oh my god, I don't even know how many inches of length it is. I know it's like 4 feet long and over 5 feet tall. It's like 5'5" or taller. Like, it's really fucking big. Because she was gonna use it, but she didn't end up using it. And then we have one other cage which my mom got to prepare for Cora, right? Which is, it's like 2 feet tall, I want to say, and it's like maybe like 1.5 feet in length or something. But it's a good size for the budgie, so, because the budgie again is like less than half the size of Cora, and Cora doesn't even need that giant cage by herself, but the more space the better, because you can add more toys, but it's very, like, big height-wise, which isn't necessarily needed with birds, because, I mean, they can fly around their cage and everything, but having so much, like, height space is kind of weird. I wish I knew what I was talking about before. If this was a live stream, it would probably be a lot easier. Honestly, let me think. I think I'm gonna end it, not right this second. I think I'm gonna end it after this playthrough, unless I die immediately. But again, I really appreciate the subscribes, and the people that have subscribed and everything. Like, it means a lot to me, because one of my dreams, because I have way too many, is to become a content creator and to become monetized and make money doing this, you know? Because making money playing video games just sounds overpowered, you know? I more than want this. You know, at some point when I start doing, like, videos where, like, you see my face and stuff, you're still not gonna be able to see my face. I'll still cover it with something. Like, I want to be seen, right? But I don't want to be seen, because You know, people can easily find out where you live just with a few things. Just by saying your name, your family names, the names of your family, the names of your pets, just all of that. They can figure it out, and it's terrifying. I'm just like, I'm gonna avoid that as much as possible. Like, everybody knows where Markiplier lives and all that shit, but that's because he's extremely popular, and I can almost guarantee he has security guards around his house, so he's completely fine. But I am not in the same predicament, so until I end up rich enough to where I can afford that, no way. I'm not risking shit. Mainly because, I mean, I know that, like, I'm not funny or... No, I'm not going to throw a pity party. That'll just sound really bad. I'm not doing that. I know that, like, my confidence... I don't know where my confidence looks to people, honestly. I don't know if I look confident or just fake confident or what, but I have some confidence. I have confidence in my abilities as a pet owner and as a chef, as a baker, as, like... I'm pretty, like, average at everything. I think that as somebody who is average in everything, I have a lot of future things I could be. You know, I tried college for a little bit, but it was really stressful, and I was like, you know, I don't technically need this. A lot of people haven't gone through college and and they were fine. You know, people that regret college because of the amount it costs and all that shit. I'm just like, no, I'm good. I don't need that. I'll be fine. And if I want to get through it later, I can, but not now. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not doing it during a pandemic where I'm too scared to even go on campus. Like, no thank you. But, I mean, I really appreciate everybody who's here and everybody who's sat through this, because I know, like, I don't know how my voice comes off. I know that, like, there's not a lot of personality in my voice, for the most part, especially since it's kind of, like, it's kind of deep in a weird way. I think that's how it is. That's how I hear it. Mainly because there's a vibration. But oh, all right. Well, that's okay. This is the end of it then. But that's pretty much like the bottom line. I appreciate everyone here. I want suggestions of whatever you guys have for me. And thank you so much for anybody who's sat through my ramblings of random shit for an hour and 7.5 minutes. Thank you. Wait here, first. Oh wait, I didn't get anything for this. High five. Wait, I did get something? I don't think I did anything during that time. Thank you? Wait, how many of these are there? Oh, yeah, there we go. That's the one I didn't do. There we go. Alright. Thank you so much for watching, and oh no. Is that an ad? Oh no. 1 second. I know that was not even like a blink to you guys, but I was just like, oh no. Ad. Run. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.